the left want the Jussie Smollett story to be true just to validate their worldview, and they admit it. Hi, I'm Tommy, and I have some first thoughts. Well, folks, for those of you who thought maybe, just maybe, Empire actor Jussie Smollett's attack story sounded a little too sensationalized to be the truth, you were probably right. According to Chicago PD sources, detectives are investigating whether Jussie paid two Nigerian brothers he worked with to carry out a staged attack. This whole thing will unravel soon enough, but what's perhaps more troubling than these hoax claims is that some on the left and in the black community want the story to be true just to validate their worldview. Yeah, no kidding. I've been doing a lot of reading on this Jussie story. The other day, I stumbled upon this article in the Washington Post, written by Chicago native Nana Afua Mumford, an executive assistant to the Post editorial board. Now, at first, the title of the op-ed surprised me. The writer, a black woman, writes about how she was suspicious of the story all along. She writes, I tried telling myself that it is possible that two assailants were walking around downtown Chicago at 2 a.m. in January in 10-degree weather, waiting for a black victim. In addition to that, they were stalking around with a bottle of bleach and a rope, and ultimately the prey they selected was an actor on a show that they must have been somewhat familiar with because they were able to not only name the show, but also know that he played a gay character. Never mind the fact that he was likely bundled up because, again, Chicago, January, 10 degrees. Also, after he fought to get away, he left the rope around his neck until he got to the hospital. Yeah, many of us felt the same way. The whole thing sounded just a little fishy from the start. But Trump supporters, especially white Trump supporters, were not allowed to question him. If we did, we were hateful, racist, homophobes, and disgusting human beings. Remember? For the record, we didn't question Jussie because he's black and gay. We questioned his story because it sounds very far-fetched. These two white men ran up on Jussie at 2 a.m. in below freezing temperatures with a noose and bleach, attacked him yelling "MAGA country" all while he was on the phone with his manager. Then he goes to the hospital with a noose still around his neck, refuses to immediately turn over his phone to authorities. Oh, and he was also allegedly about to be written off his TV show Empire. Convenient timing to get in the news. Nothing about his story made sense, and that's why we question him. And apparently, so did the writer of this Washington Post op-ed. She also knows how devastating his lie could be to the narrative. She writes, if Smollett's story is found to be untrue, it will cause irreparable damage to the communities most affected. Smollett would be the first example skeptics cite when they say we should be dubious of victims who step forward to share their experiences of racist hate crimes or sexual violence. The incident would be touted as proof that there is a leftist conspiracy to cast Trump supporters as violent, murderous, racist. It would be the very embodiment of fake news. Yeah, that's 100% accurate. But here's the kicker. At the end of the article, she writes, and that reason, more than any other, is why I need this story to be true, despite its ugliness and despite what it would say about the danger of the world I live in. The damage done will be too deep and long-lasting. This could be one tragedy that the Lahren family, and more importantly, the ordinary people who love the show and invested in Smollett and his character, could never overcome. Wait. You need this story to be true to preserve a narrative? You need this story to be true to make Empire fans feel better? You need this story to be true to push the notion Trump supporters and white people are monsters? Are you kidding me? You need a story about a gay black man attacked by white Trump supporters to be true. That's sick. If you want to preserve a movement or advocate for social justice, wishing for a hate crime to be true is not the way to go about it. Wow, just wow. But those are my first thoughts from LA. God bless and take care.